Welcome to Magic or Tragic. And it was a magical night last night as the Orlando Magic defeated the Miami Heat in their home opener, 116 to 109. It was a good win for a lot of reasons. First reason, it was the first home open win in a few years. And it was nice because as a fan base and the players included, we were anticipating the season, and we have expectations that may be different from most of what the NBA thinks of the Orlando Magic, and I think we showed a little bit of that in our first game tonight. I'm going to touch on each player, just give a little, summary of what I saw from each player or a lot of players, but the game overall, what stood out is the paint area. Defensively, I don't know if we actually have the players that is going to fix the paint problem that I think the Magic have this year, and that's basically rim protection, and not maybe necessarily in half court, but especially in transition. But even in the half court, like opposing teams, I don't really think they just fear the paint. Like, they don't fear Vucevic. Vucevic, he doesn't want to foul you. Sometimes I wish you'd just put somebody on the floor, but I think opposing players know if you go at Vucevic, he wants to play, he wants to stay on the court, he doesn't like to pick up fouls. I'm not saying he's not going to try and block his shot, but Vucci, he's too smart as a defensive player. He's outsmarting himself. That's what I'm trying to say. He just needs to put somebody on the floor a few times and, be a little bit more physical, because players just attack him, all the time. They just take it right to him. It doesn't matter who it is. Even Goran Dragic last night is, in the paint, just using Vucevic. Nonetheless, Vucci had a nice game, and he gives us a lot of things on offense, and we need Vucci, so I'm not trying to pick on him. But definitely the paint for the Magic going forward, especially defensively, is going to be a big issue. Offensively, it's still hard for us to get paint points, easy buckets, even though when we're in transition, we do get that, and we're getting a few more with the aggressive style of play that we get from Simmons, Fournier, and Gordon as far as attacking the paint. So it may not be that big of an issue on defense, but if the jumpers aren't falling for the Magic, we seem to struggle to score points, and that's because we're not accustomed to getting paint points, post-up points, cutting points, things like that. As a team, it looked like it was here we go again when we had that big lead and the Heat started coming back. It was it did look like the same team we were used to seeing. The offense got stagnant. They started taking a lot of jump shots, a lot of bad jump shots at that. And they stopped being aggressive. Everyone stopped being aggressive. However, Fournier saved the day. Fournier, that's going to be his role for this team. He needs to be our closer. He's shown consistently that, he's hit some big shots, but the reason I like Fournier in that position is because he's controlled and he has enough skills to make things happen. He's very crafty getting inside, and he's fearless shooting that jumper, and we need that. So that was a really nice game for Fournier. That was a quiet 23. A lot of players really played well. Vucevic played well. He had a high double-double. Aaron Gordon played well. Aaron Gordon, maybe he was just anxious or something. Shot selection and control. That's it. Just work on that, and he's going to be fine. I think he is playing with more confidence, and I think that's what's leading to some of that bad shot selection and control issues. But he's going to be fine. He looked really good. Elfrid Payton looked good. Hit a three. Anytime he hits a three, that's awesome. He controlled the tempo really well. He found some easy buckets for other players. If he does two things, which is hit his free throws, and he's got to stop turning the ball over so much. I know he handles the ball a lot, but like it seems like 4 turnovers or more is the norm for him. No, it's got to be like 3 or less. But if he brings his turnovers down and is consistent hitting free throws, was boom automatic, then I wouldn't even care about his shooting. Okay, because he would make up for the points going to the free throw line because he is so aggressive. And if he was even more consistent hitting his free throw shots, he'd be even more aggressive. So if he could do those two things, I wouldn't even talk about his shooting anymore. Hit your free throws, bring your turnovers down, and you'd be a huge asset and upgrade from the past 3 years that you've been playing. Who else do I want to touch on here? Of course, how can I forget Terrence Ross? When we first got Terrence Ross, he was a nice player and all. I knew his skills and all, but I just assumed he would just be another player that would come and go like so many, because at the time, you know, our system, our culture, it just wasn't the greatest. But last night, Terrence Ross had 15 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block. He had a tremendous game, and he also had 1 turnover. He really played well. He helped balance out that starting lineup with some intangibles that I think they needed. So he really looked good. He quietly could have been our MVP of the game if you take away Evan Fournier. Jonathan Simmons, he played the 6th man very well. His shooting is always going to be up and down. That's just a part of his game. But what we do need from him that he brings every night is that aggressiveness and tenacity. He's just constantly attacking. And he's either going to make the play, get to the foul line, hit his free throws, or he's going to make plays for other people. And defensively, he's always bringing it. So he was important for us last night. I think Simmons finished with 12 points, only 1 turnover. He handled the ball a lot. So that was good for him as well. Jonathan Isaac, in my opinion, did well last night. He didn't look nervous or confused. He had a lot of defensive lapses. However, it was his first game, and that's just inexperience. Like, with experience, he's going to learn about some of those backdoor pick plays or whatever they were doing with him last night that he kind of got exposed a little bit. However, he had 4 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and no turnovers, which is a big deal for me. And I think he had a couple of nice passes. They didn't record his assists, but it led to points or fouls. And I thought he did pretty well. I thought everyone did well. DJ Augustine, even in his short amount of time. Biyombo, you got to finish around the rim a little bit better, Biyombo. But I like the energy he brings defensively. He brings it, and also bring the turnovers down. I think he had almost 4 turnovers too. But really good game for the Magic. Really good start. Their next game is against Brooklyn on the road. Again, I think that's a game the Magic should win. However, I could be wrong, but I think that could be Brooklyn's home opener. So it's going to be a tough game. Nonetheless, they're all going to be tough, I guess, for the Magic. But the season has started. Let me know what you think about the performance last night, about any specific players or something that I missed. And make sure you continue to subscribe, like, or dislike. Leave comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Go Magic.